It's the opening of the Oldham County Code Enforcement Board for February the 2nd, 2022. We're going to start with the minutes and then as an overview of last month's activities. Do I need to swear anybody in? You have to swear everybody in.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this board is true and accurate to the best of your belief and knowledge.
You want to give us the backup and then we'll go through the minutes? Or
I'm going to do the minutes first, and then we'll do the, actually, it should have been under old business, but last month's cases, Adam will give you an update, and then we'll talk about the docketed cases.
Okay.
Matt will be here by then.
Okay. All right. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Similar to the minutes.
Minutes of last month.
The three sets.
Yeah, one for each case.
Madam Chair, I'd ask that all three sets of minutes for the January 5th, 2022 meeting be accepted as presented.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Minutes have been accepted.
I'm Mayor with the code enforcement. I'd like to give you all an update on the cases that we had last week, starting last month. Starting with citation number 638, which was Edward Troutman from 11905 Spring Meadow Lane. This was the backyard. So on January 31st, 2022, as of that date, I hadn't heard anything from him, so I did a drive-by to see what had been done, any progress. At that time, there had been no progress or any improvements made on the backyard, so I did leave my business card on his door. He did contact me on February the 1st, so yesterday. After speaking to him on the phone for several minutes, originally he said that he was kind of hoping this thing would go away, but he realized it wasn't going to. So he asked me to come to the board today and ask for a 30-day extension from that date to get it completed. He said he told me he promised that he would get it done. He did ask me what needed to be done. I told him from the front of the house I couldn't see everything that needed to be done, but that if he was willing to meet with me, and he said he would, that me and him could walk back there and I would show him what has to be done, and according to y'all's recommendations, give him a timeline on when it needs to be done. But he did ask for some kind of an extension, and that, whatever you all are willing to do on that. Y'all have any questions on that? They gave him 30 days to have it completed, which I don't think the 30 days is up until the 4th to have it to the 5th. Yeah, the 30 days isn't up until the 5th. And then at that point in time, I think you all were going to file criminal charges. I think if he's willing to meet with me, this is the first time I've had contact with him. If he's willing to meet with me and, I can get over there and really show him what needs to be done. From what I can see from the street, it looks like it's basically just brush cleanup. He did ask me how he could get rid of it, if he was allowed to burn, and, asked me ways to get rid of it. And, if he's really willing to meet with me and work on it, I think, giving him a week or two to meet with me and sit down and come up with a plan. And then, I think we can get it done in 30 days if, 2 weeks to giving 2 weeks to meet and set a plan with me, and then possibly 2 more weeks to have it done.
Okay, we have a board discussion.
Do we need to make a motion on that? I want to have some discussion about that.
Do we have any discussion before we get to the motion?
If I remember correctly, Madam Chair, this one, while it's been 30 days since we've dealt with it, this is something the neighbors have been dealing with for quite some time, which is why the motion was made to file the criminal complaints after 30 days. If he didn't think it was serious enough, having received the initial one, I don't know what subsequent ones were. So I don't know that a motion would be in order And I would just ask that our previous motion stand.
Any other discussion?
The previous motion has him with, he needs to have it done by the 5th.
We'd have till next Monday. Otherwise, we're back another 30 days or ish. I mean, it could be 3 or 4 months.
So I kind of feel like if you've got some communication with him,
This is the first time I've been able to make communication with him. Yes.
I mean, the bottom line is that we want to get that thing cleaned up. Nobody wants to fine him. But if you felt like he was going to follow through,
If he's willing to meet with me and I show him what's done, I think I can get it done. And that's why I said, give him a timeline to meet with me. If he doesn't follow that, then
then
proceed forward. And
Right.
then, whether he meet with me one day next week, if I set up a plan, then you all give him 1 week after that, or 2 weeks after that, and then we go straight to.
Right.
I do have a question of you. Have you tried reaching out to him before and he did not respond?
I have not. So after your all's,
Well, let me interject. You
Okay.
Remember, Adam's only been here about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And
During the time that we weren't getting any activity, we didn't have a code enforcement officer and a consistent attempt to communicate. So Adam's doing a great job of at least reaching out to people. So it's your decision of what you think you should do. But have a code enforcement officer trying to communicate with him.
Waited 30 days. He never contacted you at all until you went out there 2 days ago, right?
you're over there.
4 weeks. Yeah.
6 days doing nothing.
So the only contact that I made prior to that is when I put the what's it called, the final order. I posted the final order of what you all decided. I posted that on his doorway.
Been on January the 6th or 7th, maybe.
We met on January the 5th, which would have been the very next day.
Anyways, he's headed for
He's had that for
time. No doubt about it. He's had plenty of time.
and he never contacted me up until I put my business card and said, this has got to be resolved. You need to contact me. And he contacted me. Like I said, I posted that on the 31st, and he's called me yesterday.
But
He has not paid it. I did bring that up because when he originally called, he stated that he was not going to be able to pay that $150 until he received his Social Security check. He did state that. He thought that's what I was actually trying to get in touch with him about. And I told him, this isn't just the fact that the fine needs to be paid. I said, ultimately, we have to get this cleaned up. And that's when he kind of said he thought it was just going to go away, but obviously it's not. That he needs to get. He realizes now that it's got to get done. That's pretty much how the conversation went.
I would just like to make a comment. Being that Adam is new and has made contact with him, I guess I would be looking at, would we be willing to look at something 2 weeks? And if it's not done in 2 weeks, then everything is due, final, done. It all has to be done and it has to go to district, whatever. I'm not because of where I sit, I can't make a motion. So you all have to.
inclined to agree with giving him 2 weeks, and I don't want to. I'd rather. I would have rather he had taken care of business when we told him to. But the bottom line is that we're wanting to get that property cleaned up, and if you felt like he was sincere and something was going to be done, then I think that's our job, is to get it cleaned up. So I would make, if there's no further discussion, I will make a motion.
Is there any other discussion? My question before you make your motion, and that 2 weeks starts when?
Today, 2 weeks from today, or
You'd have to wait till after.
2 weeks from today is going to be tough.
Today is
Tomorrow we're closed. So
Monday, maybe?
Jay's yelling at me. Today is gone. Tomorrow, the county offices are closed. Who knows what's happening Friday? So realistically, we won't be contacting him perhaps till Monday.
22nd's kind of what, we'd have to, I think we'd have to allow the previous motion to run its course.
I'll agree with that. So after the 5th, which is when the previous motion was,
Yeah, so you'd have till Monday, close the business on Monday, which giving them 2 more weeks would be the 22nd.
Okay, so did I hear a motion?
let me get my calendar up here. 22nd.
You need a motion to withdraw the previous month's order.
We can let that one run its course.
You do have to let that motion stand. This is based on code enforcement officers' inspections and recommendation. You make a new motion.
February 20th. So I would like to make a motion that we give Mr. Troutman till February 22nd to clean up the property. And if he fails, then we could, I guess, deal with it in next month's meeting.
If it fails, I think we can
just
go.
give them an extension.
On the emotion, I'm going to give him an extension. We're going to extend the time period till February 22nd.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries.
We're going to be really, really mad if he doesn't.
Okay. Next order of business was citation number 639, which was Walmart on 650 Veterans Memorial Parkway. So I made a couple drive-bys by there. Not much I can see during the daytime. So yesterday, February the 1st of 22, I called and spoke to the manager, John Shane. He informed me that he has ordered more signage and that the signs are on back order. He's having issues getting those in. He did say that they placed 4-foot tall cones to block the areas of concern where the semis were parking. He is sending someone out approximately every 2 hours to check on and see if there's idling trucks located back there. And if one is seen, they're asking the truck to move. And if they refuse, they are contacting the local police department for assistance. They did say they have had to contact the local police department for assistance to have truck driver removed. They also have addressed the issues with the employees about not driving around the back of the building. So after speaking with him, I did make a drive-by there, and I did notice a few no idling signs on the building and in the area. And I noticed the cones that he had placed in the area of concern back up against the parking lot. It seems like to me that they are doing what they can to comply. I have received no more complaints from anyone since.
Okay.
Any
Thank
questions on that one? So citation number 640, which was Bernie Wise, 3301 West Highway 42. January the 27th. One time before that, I actually stopped by and, I drive by there and I've looked, but January the 27th, I actually stopped by and spoke to Bernie. He did, after speaking to him, one of his concerns was the vehicles. He knew that, you all were very specific on wanting them out. And that was one thing that he did say he might, he was hoping for time on the vehicles. Other than that, on debris removal, he was asking me places to get rid of them, that he had been working on it and cutting back some of the brush and actually back there burning it. I did give him a paper and places that he could take stuff as far as Valley View, the dump. And I noticed that he only had one trash can. I told him he could obviously have two. So I gave him information on that. After another drive-by, I think the next day, I noticed his pickup truck actually was full of junk. So on February the 1st, yesterday, I actually stopped by and spoke to him again. He told me that he had taken a load to the landfill. He had called Republic Services to ask for an additional trash can to help remove all the stuff. and that his one concern was the vehicles. He was hoping that you all would, he understood that he has to keep in contact with me, but he said the vehicles is the one area of concern that he has on when he's going to be able to get them out. He felt that he was going to be able to clean the property up, in a good, timely fashion, but the vehicles did concern him. There's 4 of them back there. He did say that one of them runs. He's actually going to get it up and, try to make it drivable. The other 3, he was getting rid of. He's going to junk them out. I did notice there is a swell right there that comes off of underneath 42, and right between the yards and the way that he would be able to get them out. So I see what he's saying there. In my opinion, he's made and I know if you drive out there, it still looks really bad. I think he's made some significant improvements on what it did look like as far as hauling off a lot of the larger stuff. From talking to him, I did say now that he's getting some of the bigger stuff out, he needs to concentrate on getting down and really picking up all the trash that's just laying around. So the vehicles, again, though, he just wanted me to let you all know he hoped you all understand that he is trying. He does want to get it clean, and just give him the time on the vehicles. He will get them out. Seems like a pretty good line of communication with me and him. I've seen him out there cleaning several different times. Just been driving by. So just an update on that. I know y'all gave him a little more time and told him to talk with me every month. He does have a lot of work to do out there. There's a significant amount of work.
What did we say about the cars?
Excuse me?
What did we say about the cars?
About the vehicles?
Vehicles.
You never, I think they said, gave him 2 months is what I think.
The end of March, I think it was.
Told him if the ground gets frozen, he could definitely get them out. And that by March, you all would, relook at it. But you all were hoping that the ground froze. He'd be able to get some of them out. If it dried up, he could get them out. So I think that's what he's waiting on. I think it got, it seems like it got cold enough one day to maybe get one out. I don't know if he just didn't try that day or what it was. But as of right now, none of the vehicles have been removed. But a lot of the front has been picked up from what it was. Questions on that one?
Stay in touch with him.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Madam Chair, those are the updates on last month's. So now that our counsel is here, Matt Hudson, the next 2 docketed items under public hearings were citation number 636 and 637, both of them related to 2601 Interior Way and Grange, violations of solid waste ordinance, construction, demolition debris, and solid waste. The property owner is the Humane Society, and the person who did the alleged violations is Hedges. They were both given these citations. I'll turn it over to Matt.
John Hedges Excavating and the Humane Society both have hired legal representation. They are attempting to work between the 2 of them to resolve the problem. In the meantime, they have asked me for the citations to be passed to next month's hearing so that any proposed resolution could be considered by the board when making a determination on what actions to take. So I've agreed with them that we would do that, and I hope the board will approve of my agreement because they're not here, but they have requested hearings.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that these 2 cases be delayed until the March meeting.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor that these 2 cases will be delayed until the March meeting of 2022. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
So at the March meeting, can you bring an update as to where we are with the homeowner on Highway 53 on the right?
Just that, because we were in court on that one.
So there's been a criminal action brought against that homeowner, and I do not know the status of it. I think perhaps she's not been served yet because I don't recall her coming into court?
Yeah.
Do we know? Does anybody else know?
From what, I'm actually going to ask you today where that stood because speaking to her and, she said she wasn't aware of.
I can look it up, and I don't mind doing that if you just give me a minute.
I think that we can cover that one. No other docketed items. The only other thing I was going to do was close the meeting and then do questions, answers, kind of training, if you will.
Okay.
But that we don't usually do during the normal hearing so that we aren't.
Hey, do we need to wait till Matt finishes?
The homeowner's name? I don't remember it. Older. That's it. So it looks like Chuck Gadberry has been to the home 7 times. Frank Conway has been once. Nobody will answer the door for them. Of course, Chuck retired a couple days ago. But if you wanted to reach out to Deputy Conway and get with him, maybe she'll answer the door if you go with him. They're obviously not going to kick the door in or something, for something like this. So it looks like he did make several attempts.
Okay, close. Meeting is now closed.